Hey guys, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and I just wanted to give some criticisms of capitalism. Um, and I'm not a socialist. I am actually pro-capitalist, but I think that we get too tied into a socialist versus capitalist dichotomy, and then it's like, oh, social or capitalism is better than socialism, so therefore, capitalism is the best possible economy. And it's like, well, no, we could create something better. We could reform capitalism. We could create something we don't even know what it is right now and have it be better than capitalism. But we're so satisfied with capitalism, I would say. And the people who aren't are mainly socialists because that's how the dichotomy is. You're kind of trained like anybody who's pretty much critical of capitalism, especially online, it's like then you do it within a socialist framework. And then so you have these socialist versus capitalist debates, and the capitalists usually come out on top. And then it's like, oh, we don't have any issues. I mean, people will admit capitalism has issues, but they don't seriously think about them. And then they compare, like, oh, well, look at what you'd have under socialism. You'd have far more issues. And it's like, yeah, you would, but that doesn't mean you still don't have these issues in capitalism. And what are we doing to fix them? So there needs to be more talk about capitalist reform and less talk about socialism, in my opinion. Now, let me move on to my example. And it starts with inheritance. So, say someone someone's father, say, they create a new product that just goes crazy. It starts a new industry. They get filthy rich. And so say they pass down like $1 billion. I know that's a ton, but they pass down $1 billion to their one son, and so now he has this $1 billion and his father's passed. Okay, so now he takes this money and he pays experts to invest it. He doesn't even invest it himself. He pays experts who know how to invest it, and he's going to make more money than the actual expert. So then this money is going to get funneled to businesses, and so the experts actually providing a skill set. The business is actually creating a product or a service. The workers are actually helping to create that product, as a part of that business. And say the investment could be into McDonald's, and the workers are going to be paid part-time. They're going to not even make enough money to survive, and effectively without government help. And yet at the top end of things, you have this person who did absolutely nothing for society, contributed absolutely nothing to society, and they're going to grow their money like crazy, while the person selling their labor is going to, struggle to make ends meet. And now the person who inherited all that money might be putting a Mustang in their living room as a freaking ornament, and people are going to defend that, while other people, are quote unquote going hungry, I'll say. I mean, there are people who, struggle to eat, especially if they have families. And I would say for the most part, people don't starve to death in the United States, but people are not going to, they're going to struggle for housing. And, there's a large percentage of the population. I should have this. I don't have it up right now, but it's like 25% or something like that pays over 50% of their income towards housing. And, when you have income inequality this great, in this situation where the person at the top, what did they actually contribute? And now, people will say that the people at the bottom who are actually working and providing to society have no right to life, no right to health care. So they're going to run their bodies into the ground working, but they shouldn't be able to have any sort of insurance to go to the doctor when something happens to them. And I know if someone gets hurt at work, that's not the issue. Businesses will cover it. But I could say I could run my body down basically by working, and then when I say I go at home and I'm doing something, my body's in a state that is where I'm on the edge of getting injured, although I wouldn't know it. So then I do something, menial, and I'll get injured, and then it'll be off, when I'm not at work, so their insurance won't cover it, and now what? I'm screwed. So I really don't understand when people are like, yeah, that person who inherited all that money, who contributed absolutely nothing to society, all they did was give money that they were given to an expert who actually knows how to distribute the money wisely, and that was it. It's kind of funny where if you take taxpayer money and then you pay it out in the basic quote unquote entitlement programs such as food stamps or something, that's considered an entitlement, and people are looked down upon for collecting food stamps and stuff, but that's redistribution of wealth and all that. But this guy who inherited all this money and didn't give anything to society, we're gonna praise him for what? What does he deserve to be praised for? What does he deserve to have health care for? And he's not only gonna have that $1 billion, he's gonna have so much more. So I do think that is a huge problem in capitalism, that a situation like that can occur, and that's why I don't agree with conservatism, where I'm more of a neoliberal, I guess, because not just this reason, but at least in a neoliberal world, I know it's a dirty word, and I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton or anything like that. I'm a Trump supporter. I would say that Hillary Clinton is a neoliberal, just like Barack Obama was, but their, neoliberalism has basically been corrupted. And, conservatism has huge problems too, like the neocons and stuff. The leaders have corrupted these movements, but the actual ideology is sound, in my opinion. And so in the situation I just described, at least in a neoliberal world, you have all these safety nets, but you still have individualism. Sure, the McDonald's employee, they're struggling to make ends meet, but at least they can get the very basics. At least they're not dying off or having to depend on different charities that may or may not exist, or may, from year to year, they may not reach the entire need. So you have that. And then I guess I'll just leave it there. I was going to go on and provide another situation, but this is already 10 minutes, so I'll just stop there and just think about that situation. And having money doesn't equate at all to having actually given to society in any meaningful way. Um, so I guess I'll just leave it there. Have a good one, guys.